Hello everyone, this is Dinesh Karthik here. I'm a World Cup winning cricketer and this is my AMA with Reddit. Hi Dinesh, were you aware that your heroics in the final over of the Nidahas Trophy in 2018 is the highest viewed cricket video of all time? I'm not gonna lie, I did know about it. Dinesh, you have a fairly long professional career, okay? Would you be able to share some of your tricks that you may have used to keep the hunger alive and not feel stagnant? How did you keep your motivation alive? My biggest aim as a cricketer was to play for India. And when that was not given to me, basically that means when I was dropped, I used to go back into domestic cricket and try and do everything possible in terms of scoring runs, keeping well, and making sure I get back into the Indian team. That was my biggest hunger. So, in plain words, if you have a goal and you pursue it day in and day out with the vision of achieving it and wanting to achieve it and having the right processes, things will fall in place. This is something I wanted to ask every commentator. After a commentary stint, do the producers usually give feedback on what could be improved? Do commentators seek feedback from the viewers? After every stint, we don't ask the producers for feedback, but yes, the viewers, when they do give feedback, I feel most of the commentators have a look at it, read up about it on social media and see if that something can be done better. But most of it is obviously a bit harsh at times. If we have said something about a player and they like the player, and for that moment if we have said something that the player has not done well, that doesn't sit well with a lot of spectators. But what can be done is something objectively can be passed down by viewers. Hi DK, greetings from South Africa. Hello. If you were given the opportunity to go play professional in any sport other than cricket, what would you opt for and why? I think I'd opt to play tennis. I really love this sport. Not that I'm good at it, but I really love playing tennis. Paddle tennis is very interesting, I felt as well. I don't know if you can be a professional there yet, but it sounds a very interesting sport. Hi Dinesh, what was going through your mind when facing the last over of the famous Nidahas Trophy final? How do you keep cool in that pressure cooker situation? Well, I believed first that I could help India win that game, which meant I needed to hit at least 3 to 4 boundaries in the last couple of overs. And I had practiced for it, so if your preparation is good, eventually it will fall in place when you play the match. Hey DK, thanks for doing this. Which is your favorite IPL team that you've played for and why is it RCB? Yeah, it's been one of my favorite teams to play for, RCB. It's got a great fan following. That's the best part about playing for that team. They love you to bits, but if you don't do well, they'll come hard at you as well, which is something I'm okay with. And it's been a real fun time playing and representing RCB. Hello Dinesh, my question is, what are some of your fondest and funniest memories with teammates in the Indian dressing room? Well, you know, if you play for 20 years, there's got to be plenty, isn't it? But one of the fondest or funniest moments that I've been part of is when in Cape Town, when Sourav Ganguly had to go bat, but he had padded up. He was waiting for a long time. Wickets didn't fall. He just went into the toilet, but it eventually so happened that he had to walk out to bat. So things had to happen in a hurry. In fact, play waited for a bit before he could come. So that was very funny at that point of time. Hi Dinesh, how has your experience been on South African and Australian pitches? Is there any large difference between them, or are they similar to bat on? There's plenty of differences. First, in Australia, there's a lot more bounce. But at the same time, it's much better to bat on because you can play a lot of shots, you can loft a lot of balls much better. Whereas in South Africa, depending on which part of the continent you are in, there are pitches which seam, there are pitches which are slow. So South Africa is a lot more challenging to bat on. What was your favorite international team / bowler to play against, as well as your least favorite? The favorite team, I must admit, Pakistan, because there was so much fan following and the rivalry is so high. So it's always a lot of fun playing a match against Pakistan, and when you do well, it's even better. The bowler that I found the hardest, Lasith Malinga, I really found it very hard to pick him. He was nightmare, really, no doubt. My question, if you could bat with a batsman from another era, who would it be? Vivian Richards. Sir Vivian Richards every day for that. Whoa, what a batsman. Hi Dinesh, do you think that captaincy is a burden for a wicketkeeper as it creates an added responsibility for an already tough job? No, I don't think it's a burden. In fact, I feel it's a boon for the team because wicket-keeping is such a focal point in the ground that you can see all the angles, understand what the bowler is doing, what the batter is doing much better than what anybody else on the ground can. So I feel, in fact, it's a good thing if wicket-keepers are captains. Hi DK, what did you change relatively late in your career to become such an incredible finisher? Was it just natural? Oh, it wasn't natural, I can tell you that. The most important aspect of me changing something was practice. The way I prepared for games changed completely when I decided to become a finisher. I batted lesser balls, but I made most use of it even in practice, so that became a habit. Hi Dinesh, with the evolving landscape of T20 cricket, how do you see the role of wicket-keepers changing in the next few years? I feel in time, wicket-keepers in the shorter formats, the quality of wicket-keepers don't need to be that high. In fact, the most important aspect becomes how can you contribute with the bat. A lot of part-time wicketkeepers are playing in the 11 purely as a batter, and that's going to keep evolving. We could get to a stage where a wicketkeeper could roll and bowl a couple of overs if required. We see Glenn Phillips as an example. He's been a wicketkeeper, but he also bowls as well. What's your favorite city to stay in and why? London. There's so much to do for me and my family, most importantly, that I love the city and the weather as well when it doesn't rain. I promise you, when it doesn't rain. Thank you so much for sending in all your questions. This is Dinesh Karthik here signing off. Don't forget to watch the 100. It's going to be a lot of fun. Take care.